A great question came in from a Texan who was surprised at how long his ballot was. Beyond the usual races like governor and congressman and members of the legislature, there are so many judges on the ballot and so many other elected positions too. His question is, why are Texas ballots so long compared to most other places? The answer is rooted in Texas history and in the Texas Constitution, and those answers explain why it's so important for each of us not just to vote, but to cast an informed vote. Here's why. Our Constitution reflects deep skepticism of a government that is too powerful. The Texas Constitution limits government power in many ways, and I expect to do another video sometime soon about the Texas Constitution. But for today's question, there are two key ways that our Constitution limits government power, and they both explain why our ballots can seem so long, especially in large counties. First, by having a lot of elected offices, there will be smaller concentrations of government power. Second, most of those officials are directly elected, so that in principle, those who are vested with government power are vetted by the people and directly accountable to the people. At least, that's the theory. Our whole system of government works only if we actually have an engaged population that chooses our many civic leaders with care. But I get it. In big counties especially, it can be really hard to be informed about everyone on the ballot, and probably judges most of all. In small counties, that's not necessarily true. In some parts of Texas, there's only one judge for a whole county, or even for multiple counties. Everyone there can know that single judge, and there's much less risk that someone who is wholly unknown or wholly unqualified will be elected. Back when our Constitution was adopted, that was true even of the big counties. There still would only be a small number of judges on the ballot. But as Texas has grown and grown and grown, and we've had to add more and more and more judges in our biggest cities, it has become next to impossible to keep track of every judge. Think about Harris County today. In addition to the 3 Supreme Court races that are contested on the ballot, including for my seat, there are 6 other contested appellate judicial races. And I think I counted 37 contested district court elections, plus 19 county court at law seats, plus 4 probate judges, and that's before you even think about justices of the peace. So I get it, it's next to impossible to really know all you need to know about so many dozens and dozens of judges. But our constitutional system depends on voters doing their best to choose good candidates in every single election for every single race, because every single judge and every single other office holder on the ballot will have soberingly important responsibilities. Other states do it differently, of course. In some states, the governor will nominate all the judges, and so the ballots for ordinary voters get much shorter. In other states, there are judicial elections, but the judges are elected by the legislature, not by the people, and so again, those ordinary ballots remain short. But since 1850, the people of Texas have chosen to keep that power directly for ourselves. So that's why our ballots can get so lengthy. If we as Texans are going to have the power to choose all our state and local leaders, we need to be as informed as possible so that we make wise choices. Especially, therefore, to those who live in big counties, thank you for the work that goes into studying your ballot before you go to the polls. And to every Texan, thank you for casting an informed vote so that we can remain a free and self-governing state. Thanks again for this question, and thank you for listening to my answer. If you have other questions, please send them to me by email at ask@justiceevanyoung.com, or leave them for me on my social media, and I'll do my best to record an answer for you too. Thanks for listening.